Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Yasharallah. Kol Haloyim Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakah Kodash, for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith in the work. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's the book of Romans chapter 12 and verse 19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith Yahweh. Right? It's written in this word that the Most High is going to repair us, man. And it already started spiritually with the elect of the Most High's people. The remnant of the Most High's people that are understanding this word, that the Most High them blessed with the spirit of holiness to be able to understand this word. Because it ain't in us. That come from the Father. The Father allows individuals to see and hear, and He closes up others, you know what I'm talking about, understanding. Closes up others' eyes and ears so they can't see and can't hear. All right, so the repairing process is already started. Right. The reason why I'm bringing up this phrase repair is because of this soundbite I'm about to play of dude named Tariq Nasheed, same man that made all of the Hidden Colors documentary series. Ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of information in those documentaries. But ultimately, you know, they all fall short because they don't all the way go into the truth. You know what I'm saying? They love to dwell in Africa and Africa this and Africa that. But they don't go no further than that. Right? And of course, you know, that man in it for the business. Right? Even him speaking about reparations, it's for the business, man. It's for the bucks, for the dollars. Right? Like I say, he came up out those documentaries. And now he's an activist for reparations. All right. As of last few years, they've been bringing up the topic of reparations. But it's a reason why so-called blacks don't get reparations. And the reason is because we don't see ourselves as a nation. Right? So that's a twofold thing for real, for real. You not claiming Israel. It's your downfall, even in this world, right? On a carnal sense, you're not claiming yourself to be Yasharallah collectively. It's keeping you away from benefits, right? But, you know, our benefits we'll receive in the kingdom. That's what we waiting on. That's what we just read. The Most High will repay, right? Vengeance is His. But the reason why you don't get reparations is because you're not seen as a nation. There is no place called black. Nowhere. There is no state of black. There is no country of black. There is no place called Africa, America. There is no such thing. Those are made up terms. So by you calling yourself these made up terms and then turning around and demanding reparations, how can you receive reparations, right? When reparations are really from a nation to a nation. From one state to another state. How can you receive that if you're not seen as a nation or a state? You can't. That's why the first thing they say when they go to speaking about reparations is, who do we give it to? Right? Because if you call yourself black, they call Africans black too. But Africans aren't us. You see what I'm saying? The first thing they say is, well, Africans sold Africans, so if you want reparations, you need to. You calling yourself a byword not only destroys you mentally, but it literally destroys you in this world that you live in by law. Just facts. But like Scripture said, we ain't got no choice but to be in this world. We ain't got no choice but to be here. So when you go fill out a job application, you're going to put black down because that's what you're identified as around the world. Right? You get your driver's license. It's the same thing, man. Right? But we don't have to be of this world. Meaning Yeah, y'all got all these labels on us and y'all calling us all these bywords, but real, we don't identify as that for real, for real. And we slowly bringing down your kingdom by operating in who we really are. Right? Proof of that. So many of the Most High's people, when some event happens, the first thing they go to spewing is boycott. Let's take one day to where we don't spend no money. Let's boycott on one day, and let's make that day on a Thanksgiving or a Christmas or whatever the hell. The remnant of the Most High's people, the elect of the Most High's people, the ones that the Most High and blessed to see and hear, we are already on that. And we've been on it the moment that we woke up to this truth. It's called Shabbat. It's called Sabbath. It's called the new moon. Those days where you are not supposed to go buy and sell. Like literally. This is every week. Right? The niggas is talking about doing this thing once a year. And they don't do it once a year. It never happens. And we doing this every week. Sometimes twice a week. Like right now, we leaving the Sabbath and going into a new moon. That's 2 days of no spending. Right? So we making strides in this thing. We doing things to righteously put a knot on this kingdom. But by you trying to operate in the mindset of a black and an African American and do all that talking and yin yang, but you ain't really about no action for real, for real. Right? You're going to always be asking these individuals for reparations or demanding these individuals for reparations. And at the end of the day, you're going to get the same answer because you don't understand where you are. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. They control this place. Your mortal enemy controls the world right now. And you asking your mortal enemy to be nice to you. Man, stop. So let me let this soundbite play and I'll be back.
Your current work today, it seems that you're pushing for reparations. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What does reparations look like for you?
It looks like cash payments for foundational Black Americans. The same thing that Native Americans get. Native Americans, they get cash payments. They get casinos. They get free medical care.
Right.
They get all types of perks and benefits from the federal government. And foundational Black Americans need to get the same thing.
Yeah, and it's just so. I feel like it exposes itself, right? Yeah. Because you look at the Japanese came here, the internment camps. They experienced something that was not fair and just to their people, and they're able to kind of get some support from our government.
Yes, indeed.
You have the Native Americans. Clearly, they are definitely owed being people that were here.
And they've received. And they continue to receive.
And so why?
So let me pause right though, right? As far as the natives go, they do have a reservation that they can go live on. And on their reservation, if I'm not mistaken, they can receive a certain amount of free college or whatever, but it's not top tier, right? A lot of these reservations are 10 times worse than Ann Hood in America. They suffering so bad in the reservations that a lot of them are become alcoholics, right? A lot of them are strung out because of, depression and just straight poverty. Yeah, they got reservations, but they living in trailers on these reservations. The daughter of Babylon ain't taking care of the natives like that. You can go look into all of this that I'm telling you. It's the absolute truth, man. Right? As far as the Japanese go, that goes on to what I was saying from the jump. Japanese are associated or directly attached to what country? Right. Japan. Right? So that's what I'm saying, man. This man in it for the books, man. He got a certain amount of knowledge, but it ain't real authentic, divine knowledge. Because if it was, he would understand exactly what I'm saying. Right? This man still talking about going out and voting, changing the structure of the daughter of Babylon by a piece of paper that you go fill out and say you want this person to represent you. Not understanding that the system pays certain individuals to operate according to how they want, not according to what the people want. If it was according to what the people want, this place would have been changed. Ain't got nothing to do with what the people want. It got everything to do with what big business wants and what the bankers want and what the individuals that control the earth really want. How many times these folk got to show you that, man? All right, but I digress, man.
Like, who's at fault at this point, right? Like, why do they keep kind of sidestepping the obvious?
Because we keep letting them sidestep us. Because we keep letting them talk us into this minority coalition. Whenever we start talking about what we need as black people, they say, sure, we'll do it for all minorities. Mm-hmm. And we go along with that thinking that there's this coalition that will push. So if all of these other groups get something, it's going to come to us too. And that always backfires on us. That started in the 60s when we started saying, hey, we need civil rights for black people. Then they said, we're going to let over these immigrant groups and we'll give civil rights to minorities. So we had a lot of these
Right though, civil rights. Civil does not pertain to a specific group of people. Civil is civilization, period. That's what civil is. Civil is people, period. Ain't got nothing to do with so-called blacks. You see what I'm saying? Instead of this man saying, it started in the 60s when we were talking about civil rights, instead of saying civil rights, we should have said A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? But now, this nigga still talking about some civil rights. Right?
Black people receiving a lot of stuff that we fought for as black people. And the same thing happens now. We fight for certain things, and they say we're going to give it to people of color. When we say we want certain job positions, they say, sure, we'll give it to people of color. So now we got a bunch of white Hispanics in certain positions, and they're practicing anti-black racism against us, especially in Los Angeles.
Right.
So we keep falling for this trick bag. So this is why now we're being very specific about tangible benefits for a very specific group of black people, foundational black Americans.
Yeah, I want to touch on that. That's happening in Los Angeles. It seems to be like an evident divide, or somewhat of a word. I'm coming from Atlanta, so I'll need some briefing.
Yeah.
But before I get into that space, it does seem that white America fears us in position, and I think it was always this stipulation that we will do to them what they've done upon us. And I don't know why. I guess because there's a guilt there, but I don't personally see us doing that. I don't see black people owning slaves and just being cool about it and drinking.
See what I'm saying? Because they think we gonna do to them what they did to us, bro. That's righteous justice. Yeah, you talking about? That is righteous justice in any society. Old, now, future. You will always have a higher class. You will always have a lower class. Any society. Name me one society that ain't built that way. It's always going to be kings, servants. Always. Kings, regular society. It's always. You got rulers and you got people that's ruled over. Period. That's what I'm talking about, man. The so-called black mind is destroyed, even if you are a quote-unquote good black man. It's destroyed. Should be in fantasy land. This nigga said, I can't see us having slaves and sipping Kool-Aid. Bro, you better check your history. Yeah, you talking about. That's our history. Not only were we servants to all the surrounding nations, but for that period of time, whether you talking about the Dark Ages or whether you talking about during the time of King Solomon and King David, when we were ruling, you best believe we had servants. You best believe that, and we're gonna have them again. Right? It's written in the word. That's that repayment that the Most High gonna give us, man. Right? Let me see. Matter of fact, let me go to the book of Joel. Actually, it's a lot. Let me go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 14. From the top, it says, "For Yahweh will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the stranger shall be joined unto them, Salah, and the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Right? What is you talking about? That's exactly. And 9 times out of 10, he's an individual there to say, yeah, I know we were once Hebrews, back in the day. I understand that, won't, but, always a but. But y'all keep talking about, y'all gonna have slaves and servants. How is that right? How is that right? If we do the same thing that they did to us, we're not gonna do the same thing they did to us. Ain't nobody butt breaking out here, man. That's attached to wickedness. Ain't nobody raping no little kids around here, man. That's attached to wickedness. Ain't nobody cutting. We not gonna do what they did, but we gonna have service and we gonna rule with a rod of iron. That's according to the word, man. Hard, righteous justice. This world ain't created effeminate activists, bro. How is that possible? I do not know. All right. Well, I do know. All you gotta do is, in the past, anybody that bucked up against the system, make sure you make an example out of them and kill them in a broad way, so that the rest of them don't get down like that. Don't even think to speak like that. Because if you do, I want you to have this memory in your mind, and I want you to be scared of that. And it is the same tactic that they used in the plantation. Grab the big buck, the one that everybody else looking up to, bring him in front of everybody. I'm going to beat his back end. I'm going to whip him. Beat it back end. Then I'm going to rape this man. That's how it was in the plantation. So if you even thought about being a rebellious individual and I done took down your biggest dude, you're not going to think the same way. Yeah, you may mumble in amongst yourselves, but that's as far as it going to go. Right? Anywho.
While they're whooping your grandmother in the back.
Well, the thing is, you have to understand what white culture has become. Mm-hmm. See, in order to give value to white culture, you have to have something that has no value. There has to be an opposite. And we are the opposite that gives them value, because they have told us and they have designated us to be a valueless group. And they are the value group.
Right.
That has.
Look, that's the man keep bringing out these points, and that's the truth. We have been designated for the unvalued group, meaning we're worthless. That's what that term black means, and African American and nigger and all that. Those are made up terms, right? They created something called white in 1681 with the Maryland Act. When they created that term white as it pertains to a nation, that made them have value. When they attached black to us as a nation, like representative of a nation, that decreased us to 0. Look up the definition of black, man. Void of. Right? Valueless. Look at the definition of white. Pure, righteous. Value. So you going to these folk as black people talking about we want reparations. They do not value you. According to their law books, they do not value you. They didn't do it then. They don't do it now. How? The proof in that. They haven't changed the damn law books. The law books are still the same about how they view you. 3/5 of a human being is still in there. They haven't changed that. Why haven't they changed that? Why in so-called 2022 have they not changed that? Okay.
Created a schism, and then they put buffer classes in the middle. Hispanics, Asian, Middle Eastern people. Yeah. You understand? And then they give them certain little secondary privileges and benefits over us. But we always have to remain on the bottom as black people.
So that's enough of the soundbite, man. That man just basically talking the same stuff over and over again, right? Uh, let me go to the book of Joel. Joel chapter 3 and verse 4. Look, real talk, just because you see somebody talking Pan African and talking black this and black that, that really does not mean that them people is real deal for the people. I don't know that man. I ain't never met that man. I ain't never spoke to him. But all I know is information is out there. And you ain't changed your tune yet. You still talking the same old same. But the information is out there. But you for your people. And the truth exists. And it can be proven. But you still talking the same old same. Even in your documentaries. In his documentaries, man, when he goes over the Bible, the term, or it never gets said that it's not true. Never. It always gets said the people in the book are not so-called white. They are so-called black. Always. I done seen them all. It's never where the people, the Messiah, he never existed. No, it's never that. It's always they are so-called black. So if you know that, that means you referencing this thing as not being false but true. Why are you not going into that information? I'm just saying, man, peep these folk that you so-called following. These folk is about business, man. Think that man made them documentaries for the free? Hell no, that man living in a mansion in California, in Beverly Hills, if I ain't mistaken. For the money, man. Anyway, Joel chapter 3 and verse 4 says, Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? Will you pay me back? And if you pay me back, and if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head. These nations have to get that back. Right? Real reparations. Right? Scripture says the Most High is not mocked. Right? Don't think just because you got his people in a certain place that you can just speak whatever it is you want to speak. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Because it says, as a man soweth, so shall he also reap. You got to get that back. Have to. That's why all these things are happening around the world. Right? That's why all of this chaos and turmoil going on all sides. The Most High getting ready. He is recompensing these individuals, and their recompense gonna get harder and harder and harder, just like it was for us. Them hard times got hard, man, leading up to the transatlantic slave trade. This ain't the only slave trade we went through. We done been through several. And it got harder, increasingly harder and harder and harder. First, it started off, we were going to slavery. They would let us go. We can go back to our homeland, rebuild our society, and live. We'll fall off again, and it'd be a cycle of that. Then it got to the point to where we couldn't go back to our homeland because it got burned down. We got to dwell amongst everybody else, but we were still doing all right. Then it got to the point to where now we getting forced religion on us. So now they trying to take the Most High away from us. Right? Look into the sub-Saharan slave trade. Then ultimately it got to the bottom where we got into the transatlantic slave trade and they took everything away from us. Know your history, so-called black man. So-called Native American man. So-called Hispanic man. Know your history, man. It matters. Yeah, that need to be the new slogan. Damn, a Black Life Matter. Your history matters. How the hell you gonna know where you going if you don't know where you been? How you know the world you living in now if you don't know the world of the past? You tripping, right? It says, because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things, the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians that ye might remove them far from their border. Right? Sold us to these devils, man, and got us in the positions that we're in now. And the Most High gonna pay that ass back. right? You best believe that. Look, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 60, and verse 10. It says, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls. This that recompense we talking about. This that payment. This that reparations we talking about. Right? And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. To minister means to serve. Look the word up, man. Go I'm talking about Blue Letter Bible. Look it up. It means to serve. And scripture just said their kings shall serve us. Right? It says in verse 11, therefore thy gates shall be open continually. They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. This that real reparations, man. To where we not asking nobody for nothing. They gonna bring that. We're not asking nobody for no land. We gonna take that. Matter of fact, Yahweh gonna take that and give it to us. Yahweh gonna take that and give it to us. Now he gonna use us to do it. It's written in the word. If I'm not mistaken, Ezekiel chapter 25, verse 14. Right? The Most High gonna use us according to his anger. Right? It says, Isaiah 60 verse 10, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercies on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, there shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. Right? And that's thus says the Lord, man. That's them real reparations. I ain't studying about what the daughter of Babylon talking about with no chain. They want to cut a check. Hey, that's what's up. I'm not going to turn it down. Bet that. But I'm still looking for what it really is. I'm looking for what's written in this word. And there ain't nothing you can give me that's going to change that. Not a damn thing. How about Shema Sharatazah? Not a damn thing you can give me that can change that. Right? I'm not foolish like Esau, who sold his birthright for a damn meal. You dummy. Right? So anyway, with that, hey, how about Shema Sharatazah? These precepts in this video were edifying. Call Holoyim Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Harakakodash. Shalom Yashala.